Let me start by thanking the men and women of the RSAF who volunteered for this mission and actually, in a very real and personal sense, represent the care, the concern, the compassion of all Singaporeans for the civilians in Gaza facing a very dire humanitarian situation. So, first is a big thank you, men and women of the RSAF. Second, I want to thank the Jordanian government, His Majesty the King, the Foreign Minister, the Jordanian Armed Forces, the civil servants, and everyone who has played a role in this mission. First, His Majesty has been, assiduous and for a very long time in seeking peace in the Middle East. And he very quickly mobilized and assistance for the civilians in Gaza. Without his leadership, none of this would have happened. The other aspect is that without the pre-existing close and strong relationship which we have between Jordan and Singapore, we wouldn't have been able to get this done. And the origins for this is a phone call I had with the Jordanian foreign minister just over 2 weeks ago. And here we are now, a Singaporean team about to commence this mission. The first phase was really the airlift of the essential humanitarian packets. I'm glad to report that all the humanitarian packages are now here in King Abdullah II Air Base. So we're now ready for the next phase. We are set for the airdrop phase of this operation. It will commence, but I hope you also understand, for both security and operational reasons, we will not be publishing a schedule of when the flights will go. But we are set and we are ready to do so. I will make an additional point, which is that I wish all this was not necessary. What we actually need now is an immediate humanitarian ceasefire. We need the immediate, unconditional release of all hostages. If that can be achieved, then a whole flood of humanitarian assistance can reach the civilians in Gaza. And really, actually, the best way of doing this would be through a ground-based route. That's the only way you can get the volume and the speed and the urgency with which help is needed. But in the interim, people are facing very, very difficult, dire circumstances. And every airdrop of humanitarian assistance will save lives, will make a difference. And that's why this mission, at this point in time, is critical. It is not the complete solution. It will be inadequate, but every drop, every sortie, every bit makes a difference. So for that, again, I just want to end by expressing my deepest appreciation, men and women of the RSAF.
Prime Minister, I have a question. You mentioned previously in the pre-strip social media statement that you hope intense diplomatic efforts can achieve the immediate humanitarian ceasefire you talked about.
Yes.
So where does Singapore play a role in this?
No, I will not say Singapore plays a role in this. In fact, I just came in from Qatar yesterday. I was fully briefed by the Prime Minister. And I think you may be aware they are meeting right now in Qatar. Even the Israeli delegation is there. It will not be easy, negotiations. And actually, the underlying political and military conflict is very complicated. So we can only hope that cool heads, good sense will prevail for the sake of the people, the civilians, the innocent people in Gaza. But we are really there's no way to predict when that breakthrough will occur. But right now, as I said, immediate assistance is needed. We do what we can. So Singapore is a small city-state. This conflict may be very far from Singapore, but this is something which Singaporeans, I think all Singaporeans, feel deeply for. That sense of concern, that compassion, and to the extent that we can act, as I said earlier, get active, not angry. Be constructive rather than aggressive. I think we can continue to play that role and express the Singapore spirit in a very real and personal way. We can make a difference in our own small and unique way.